Welcome to the NetIQ Secure API Manager demo and walkthrough. Today, we are going to be explaining the components of the solution, what they do, and how a finished implementation of this can look for you. So we have four major components of this product. We have an SQL database where all the configuration and data is placed. We have a lifecycle manager where APIs are designed and implemented. This includes a publisher component and a store component, which we will show to you in this demo. The third component is the gateway component. This is the workhorse of the system. It handles the interactions and the increased security that you are looking for. Finally, there is the analytics component, where you can see what has been done and expand your resources as it is needed. So the first I want to do is show you the appliance. From here, we go into Deployment Manager. We can see on our box that we have a database, a lifecycle manager, a gateway, and an analytics. So inside here in the lifecycle manager, we have the ability to have a NFS server as well. This allows you to have multiple lifecycle managers and sync the information. In addition to that, on the gateway, we also have that ability to have multiple gateways reading the same configuration from the database and the hard files for speed and capabilities. And finally, we have our analytics. Everything in here can be deployed as a test system or in a full-scale production environment. For this demo purposes, we'll be on the test system. First thing I want to show you is the publisher. The publisher is protected by a username and password with different users and roles. And I want to show you a basic, simple Pizza Shack API. So this API is a REST implementation. It has the various APIs available. There's a post to do an order, a get for the menu, a put for saving an order out, a get for retrieving an order ID, and delete for deleting an order. Inside here, you're able to define all the different types that REST APIs support. The next screen that you would be going through is talking about your endpoints. Where does this API actually reside? So here is what type of it is. It's either a REST endpoint or a SOAP endpoint or a WebSocket. And this is where the API actually resides. So we have the ability to have a production endpoint and a test endpoint for the sandbox endpoints. And then we're able to manage the API and give throttling information. So in this example, I have unlimited abilities to go forward and to send APIs to this, but we could rate limit them. We could allow only 5,000 requests per minute, 1,000 requests per minute, and these are configurable. Also, we could do advanced throttling policies based upon a specific get or a specific post. And then we have the ability to publish this API. Once that is done, the API shows up in the store. As you can see, the Pizza Shack is here. So we're going to log in again and show you the concept of what an application is. This is where the published APIs can be grouped together as an application. This application is what defines a collection of APIs that you want to have groups together. So in this example, I have the pizza application, and this one has subscribed to our various APIs. One we'll be demoing is the Pizza Shack API. Now that you've seen these components, we want to show you what a modern implementation of a web app could do. So here's our simple Angular 7 application that shows how this API could be implemented. We'll click Sign In, which redirects us over to our Access Manager server, where we use our Access Manager username and credentials to be able to authenticate. We click Sign In, and the first action that occurs is our get for the menu. So we create this menu with the different items in which the user is returned. They're able to go ahead and choose the double bacon cheese order. This would take them, in this example, to a fake ordering screen where they have their item. They would place their information here. Obviously a fake credit card number, fake expiration, fake CVV. We're going to deliver it here to our office building, and we will now do a put for an order. It returns, we do a get, we can see the order, we get an order ID, and we could go back to the menu, or in this example, we're going to go ahead and delete that order, and every one of those APIs has now been exercised. And that is a simple Angular application showing a modern look and feel of what old APIs could look like. So let me show you inside the publisher a few other APIs. First ones we want to talk about is what is this capable of securing. So out of the box, you can have an API Swagger definition to be able to import and use a mass collection of APIs. This comes in common when you have a complex application and already have a Swagger. Or you're able to create a SOAP endpoint, a REST endpoint, or a WebSocket. All of those are supported in this current version of the APIs. So we'll go into the phone verification using SOAP. We'll come into the API console. This requires an authorization token that we received from NAM. So from our Pizza Shack app, we have used the console log to drop down the access token. So we're going to take that token, place it here, and we're going to try this out. So the SOAP requires a SOAP body, which I've already previously built. Inside here, it takes in the parameters of a phone number and a license key. In addition to that, it also takes a SOAP header, which is defined as part of the SOAP API. At this point, all the necessary information has been inputted, and we can test out this API. As we see, it comes back with our number, letting us know that it's in Provo, and it's held by the Quest Corporation. One of the cool things that this product allows you to do is you can take your old SOAP APIs and you can wrap them inside of REST. So this is what we've done with that same API for the phone verification. It's a REST implementation. So with the REST implementation of this, we can go to that API, provide it with the access token, and we can check the number. So when we try it out, it prompts us for query strings, and our number was 801-861-7000, which is the main office building. And our license key was 0. I can do execute, and this is now a REST API. It returns the body in JSON, which could be used and controlled from there. So now that we've shown you the ways to use APIs with the API console, I want to also show you that those very same APIs can be used in other methods. So here I have a Postman client, and it's going to use that same SOAP body. I'm going to send it with the same piece, and it comes back, gives me the same information. The REST implementation with that same information provided, I can also send it, and it comes back with that same information as you expected. The other piece that you can do is you can have an API that doesn't require a token. So here we can see that we have a number to text SOAP API. This part here tells you it's a prototype, which means it doesn't require any NAM authorization to work. So from our Postman, we can give it a SOAP body where we're going to provide the numeric 77, and the return from this is going to be a translated to string 77 in English. So from here, we're able to have all of our different APIs working from different methods, whether it's Postman, an Angular implementation, or the web console. The final piece of information that we want to show you is the analytical data that is collected. From the store implementation, you're able to see what has been done with the different APIs. As we can see in this example piece, we've called the Pizza Shack API 22,000 times. The SOAP implementation of the verification 7,500 times, and the phone verification 2879. And also we can see who the top users are. So we can see user 1 has done 22,000, user 4 has done 1860, user 3, the user we just used, has done 5,000 different API calls. And you can structure that based upon time and see different usage statistics from the store perspective. In addition to that, the publisher also has analytics. So you can see similar information from the APIs, which APIs have been done. You can see the detailed list here. In addition to that, you can have the different users based upon the API. I can see user 1 has called this 57.2% of the time, user 2 has done that, and user 4 and 3 have not done very much. With the SOAP implementation, same type of users, and the Pizza Shack, you can see. You can also take a look at the user agents. In these examples, everything was done from a Windows machine. So that's where your implementation comes from. If you had different Windows agents or OS X agents or Linux agents or Android agents, you would see those. You can also see the last times that these APIs were accessed, by whom. And you can see how often and percentage-wise these full APIs were called. So in a brief overview, that gives you the 4 components of the NetIQ Secure API Manager, and it gives you an idea of what can be done using modern technologies to take your old APIs, convert them into REST, and having modern apps communicate with them. At this point, the demo and explanation is finished. we will leave you to that.